Nanny Perry's rolls. These rolls go back to Nanny's mother. This recipe is probably 160 years old, and it's something she has passed on to me. So let's begin with 6 cups of King Arthur flour and nothing but. Nanny always said to me, never do anything but King Arthur flour. So to 6 cups of King Arthur flour, I added 2 teaspoons of salt, and I put it through a sifter. And then what we're doing, we're going to make a well in the middle of this. Okay, a well. Now I have scalded 1 cup of whole milk, which is cooling. You can't have anything too hot because it will kill the yeast. So I scalded 1 cup of whole milk, which means that you don't boil it, but it just gets a few bubbles around the edge. That's scalding. Now what I'm going to do is the next calls for 1 cup of warm water, to which I am going to add, can't be too hot because it'll kill the yeast. I'm going to put in this packet of yeast, not rapid rise. And then to that, I am going to add 2 tablespoons of flour. Now, this is not crazy, but you put the, not flour, what am I talking about? Sugar. We're going to put in 2 tablespoons of sugar. And see what's happening already? There's going to be a chemical reaction here. All right. And that's going to sit for a while, and I'll go out because this is probably going to take 10 minutes or more for this reaction to take place. Okay, so we'll come back. So this was the cup of warm water to which I added 1 package of yeast, not rapid rise, and then I sprinkled the sugar. Let me see how much sugar. Oh, lordy, 2 tablespoons of sugar on top. And it makes kind of a reaction. So now with that, we're going to start. And the milk has been scalded and cooled because you don't want to kill the yeast. So now I'm going to, in this well, I'm going to add 2 eggs, room temperature, slightly beaten. Then I'm going to add the yeast and the water. Okay, because that has yeast in the water. And then the cooled, scalded milk. All right, so here we go. Here. You know, when you scald milk, and please don't use anything but whole milk, because back when this was a recipe from 100 and some odd years ago, they did not have skim milk. So please use whole milk. And do not think you can substitute Crisco for lard, because lard is an animal fat and Crisco is a vegetable, and it will never, ever make the grade. All right, so I am, gosh, it's been a while. I haven't done this in 3 years, guys. Okay. Remember, girls, no nail polish, no rings. So I'm gonna as best as I can. All right. This is why you gotta wash your hands ahead of time. So now there are 3 tablespoons of lard. And this is what Nanny taught me, how to incorporate it. Here's how you do it. See why you can't wear nail polish? Big time. Get all that lard in there. Okay. Oh, it's coming. It's coming. Gosh, I haven't done this in 3 years. Oh, God, I hope it turns out okay. So it seems I have pretty much incorporated that 3 tablespoons of lard into the dough. Okay. All right. Now I'm going over here. But before, what I have to tell you, we have to do, come on back with me. I need this pan again. Wait a minute, here. So I'm back here. So before I knead this dough for 10 minutes, I have to clean this bowl because this is where it's going to rise. So I need to clean it. Okay. I hope you guys have a bowl this big. I don't know, Jim, how big is this, do you think?
Big.
I know. It's the only thing I use it for is these rolls. That's the only thing I use it for. What do you think? That's okay. 13 inches. All right. I'm gonna clean that baby. And I'll show you why. Okay. Right now. All right. So, let's go back to the dough. So now we have the dough. Okay, and now what happens is I am going to knead this dough for 10 minutes. Okay, not 7 minutes, not 50. I'm going to knead this dough. Here's kneading, if you didn't know. Okay, this is what you do when you knead. You pull it in on itself. I use my knuckles. Okay. And I am going to knead this dough for, you set the timer for me, honey?
I'm watching this.
10 minutes, okay, 10 minutes.
Minutes gone by.
How much?
1 minute.
Okay, 10. All right.
Do you want to stop?
Nope. So I'm going to knead this dough for 10 minutes. And it's a long time. It's a long time. And you know what? Your arms and your back get tired. But while I'm doing this, can you see this incredibly wonderful, wonderful woman? That's Nanny Perry. That's March 6th, 1976. I took Blake and Deirdre over to see her. That's my Nanny Perry. And when I do this kneading, more often than not, I use this time to think of my childhood on the farm and how much I adored her. And there just may be a drop or two of tears in this. She was very, very, very special. Anyway, Jim will turn it off. I will keep going, and I will show you what it should look like when you're finished. It should be shiny, and that's when you know it's been kneaded enough. And this is girls, no nail polish, no rings. Now you understand why. You know, when these women from 160 years ago were making this, they didn't have nail polish. They were simple women. Anyway. Ready?
It's going.
All right, so the next thing, the bowl that we mixed this in, we have to line with lard, because what we're going to do, see, I did this till it gets like kind of a shiny look to it. And then you do this to make sure. Okay. Then I'm going to get wax paper. And I'm going to put that on there. Okay. Because as this rises, I do not want it to stick. So I'm going to then cover it with one, two. Let it rise overnight, and it's got to be kept in a warm environment. I don't know how you want to define that. For me, it's going to mean I'm going to turn the heat up in the house. I've tried the oven. That did not work, big time. So I'm just going to turn the heat up in the house, and in the morning, I will show you hopefully what it's going to look like, and then we'll go to panning it. which is not as difficult as